Hi, my name is Julie, and this is Gentle Yoga Class brought to you by the YMCA Virtual Studio. Thank you for joining me today. This is a short class, only 30 minutes. Please be sure to make yourself as comfortable as possible when you're getting ready to practice. Have a mat nearby. Don't do any movements that feel very uncomfortable or painful to you at all. And please don't do anything that any of your healthcare professionals have told you not to do, okay? So today we're going to work a little bit on our shoulders and our legs and hips. If you have a strap, that's a great thing. That would be a wonderful thing to have for practice today. If you don't have a strap, you can use a necktie, you can use the belt, a tie from a bathrobe, or you could use a longer towel and maybe roll it up. Okay, so you can hold on to it, all right? So please grab something that you can use. It does not have to be stretchy. It's better if it's not. But if that's all you have is like a big long stretchy tube or something, that's cool. That'll definitely work. But see if you can find something. If you have to stop the video, find something, go get it. So you can use that. It's nice to have blocks nearby if you have them. And sitting up on a blanket folded up or a little bit of a cushion can also be very helpful, as we're going to do some position seated today. And I always sit up on a blanket, and there is nothing wrong with that. What it does is it helps you move your pelvis into a more neutral position, and that'll make it much easier to sit on the floor, whether your legs are crossed or whether your legs are out in front of you. It's okay. It's whatever works for you. Also, anything that we do seated on the floor, if you have a chair nearby, grab it, because you can do some of those things seated in the chair, and that may feel way more comfortable for you. So do what works for you and leave the rest behind. Let's get started with a few breaths. Roll the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall. Again, you want to feel lifted and tall when you sit. I say this very often. So if you are seated on the floor and your tailbone is tucking underneath you, then your spine isn't reaching up tall. So you might want to move the flesh of your back end, pull it straight out back behind you a little bit, so you can feel your sit bones under your gluteal tissue pressing down into the blanket you're sitting on, or to the floor, or to the chair if you're seated there. Draw the shoulders back. Think about that tall spine. Inhale, lift up the shoulders. Exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back and down. Rest your hands on your thighs. Think about the tops of your ears and reach them straight up towards the ceiling. This will lengthen the neck. Imagine that your head is balanced over your heart and your shoulders are balanced over your hips. Take a moment and close your eyes. Your body should feel upright, but not tense. There's a little bit of muscular activity going on to keep us seated, and that's okay. We don't want to feel like we're clenching or working too hard in the seated position. Let's inhale and exhale in 3 parts. Imagine you're inhaling your low belly, your mid belly, and your chest and rib cage. And then exhaling from the chest, the upper belly, and the mid belly. You can inhale through your nose, you can close your eyes, whatever works for you. Inhale, low belly, upper belly, chest. Exhale, chest, upper belly, lower belly. Each inhalation, you can feel the belly soften and the chest widen. And each exhalation, you can feel the chest, the rib cage draw in and the belly draw in. Inhale, low belly, upper belly, chest. Exhale, chest, upper belly, lower belly. Just do a few more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Go at your own pace. It's basically 3 counts on the inhale and 3 counts on the exhale. And just a few more. Focus now on the feeling of your spine. Where is it? It runs through the center of your torso, it feels like, right? So we consider the spine the center line. So when we center ourselves in yoga, maybe we focus softly and gently with awareness on our spine, on its length, strong back, soft front. Imagine widening and opening through the front of the chest, laying the front body against the strength of the back body and the spine. Whatever your intention for practice is today, the reason that you came to the mat, you don't have to hold on to it too tightly or clench it. Just an idea. Notice why you came. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Great job. So we're just going to do a little bit of movement here seated. So again, you can sit in a chair if that's more comfortable for you, or you can sit up on height, sitting up on a blanket or whatever you might have at home. So let's place the hands here on the legs, the thighs, or the knees, and circle our torso. It's like we're stirring the pot, spoon, right? So the torso or the spine is the handle of the spoon, right? And the pelvis and the hips are the pot. So think about it that way. Rock a little bit from side to side, inhaling and exhaling. Let's go in the opposite direction now. Ooh. And it's okay, this can be a small roll, just kind of circular motion there with the torso. Go back and forth in the two different directions. You want to feel comfortable, right? Just a little bit of a warm up. And then come back to the center position with the spine, nice and tall, right? Press down through the sit bones, reach up to the tops of the ears. Inhale, roll the shoulder back, roll the shoulder blades back and press the heart forward. See if you can relax the belly. Maybe you'll feel your tailbone lifting up behind you. Breathe. On the next exhalation, go ahead and draw the front waist into the spine, soften at the shoulder, so you're widening your shoulder blades, you're rounding your spine to the wall behind you. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, press the chest forward. Let the belly relax, feel the spine arch. And on the next exhalation that you draw, bring the front body in. Now you can do a few more of these, inhaling on this seated version of cow pose and exhaling on the seated version of cat pose. Just feel the shoulders rolling forward and rolling back. Feel the hips as you rock back and the tailbone tucks under a little bit, and you rock forward and the tailbone lifts a little bit. Just do it with your breath, your own pace. Feels really good. You're kind of leaning forward and leaning back a little bit. And then let's come up to center once again. Roll the shoulders back, sitting up nice and tall. Again, you can move the flesh of your back end straight back behind you a bit. So we are going to do a little work for our shoulders and arms using your strap or your belt or whatever you have nearby. Let's just breathe first, start getting warmed up at the shoulder area, inhaling up and exhaling, floating the hands down. Stay nice and tall, pressing down through the sit bones, reaching up to the tops of the ears. We root down through our hips so we can rise up through the torso, through the arms. Beautiful. Just breathe. One more. Go at your own speed. It's all good. Great job. So now we're going to inhale the arms up, and we're going to exhale the fingertips behind the ears. So keep the chin parallel to the ground and maybe move the back of your head back towards your fingertips. Feel big stretching going on in the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders. Breathe. You're doing great. You feel a firmness on the front waist as it gently hugs in towards the spine. So there's strength on the back body and some strength on the front of your waist. Let's bring the right hand down and inhale. Left arm up, exhale over. Come in your fingertips, whatever works for you. And let's switch. Inhale now. Right arm goes up and over. Oh, gorgeous. And a few more times. Inhaling and exhaling, keeping the torso nice and tall, keeping that heart lifted. Great job. And let's add a few twists here. Twists can be challenging, so you don't have to lift your arms up overhead. You can keep your arms here, roll the shoulders back, inhale. Exhale as you turn to the right, bring that left hand over towards the right knee and taking this right hand fingertips behind you. It doesn't have to be big, your hand can be whatever works for you. Think of keeping the chest lifted and inhale back to center and exhale turning to the left. Each time you exhale to twist, the belly draws in. This helps the twist. It supports the spine when the abdominals draw in. Makes it easier for you to twist around the spine. And exhale, stay nice and tall through the tops of the ears. And maybe your fingertips don't touch the floor behind you. That's okay, that's nothing that you have to aim for. Better to keep the torso up nice and tall. And back to center. So now let's grab the strap that I mentioned before, okay? We're just gonna do a little work with that. So you wanna hold it so it's nice and wide. So take your arms out to where it's comfortable. You can straighten the elbows, nice and wide. Beautiful. We're just gonna bring it up overhead and exhale it back down. And inhale up overhead and exhale back down. And bring it up overhead and exhale back down. Beautiful job. One more time, bring it up overhead and exhale down. Now we're gonna take it up overhead, and you may need to make your hands even a little further apart. Inhaling here, exhale, bend the elbows, and maybe bring the strap behind your head. If you can't do this, you can bring the strap down in front of you, okay? So if you can't bring the strap behind the head, that's okay. Inhale up, exhale. Open up. You're gonna feel a lot of strength going on in the back of those shoulder blades. Keep the chest lifted. You don't have to lift your chin, however. Inhale up and exhale, bringing the elbows down, and inhale up and exhale. Let's hold the strap a little tighter now. You may find that this makes it easier for you to do this. Belly's engaged in towards the spine to keep you nice and tall. Inhale and exhale. And inhale up and exhale down the front. Great job. Let's roll those shoulders back. Just opening up the shoulders and the head and the neck today, okay? Maybe doing a little bit of hip opening on the floor and opening the back of the hamstrings. Okay, so here we go with our strap once again. Inhale the arms up, nice and wide. Now I want you to stay as tall as you can. Inhale here, exhale, bring both arms over to the right. So it's not your whole torso, it's just your arms, okay? And inhale up, and exhale them over to the other side. So maybe you don't have this overhead. Maybe you have this more in front. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Just use the arms up and over. Use the arms. Notice where your range of motion is. And it's okay if the elbows bend. It's okay. You may notice that the tighter or more taut you hold the belt or strap, the easier it is. I don't know. Try it. Just one side and the other. So feel what's going on in the shoulder joints. Woo. We need strength and flexibility. So it feels like you're working, because you are. Different parts of your body are working to stabilize you as you stretch the other parts of the body, yeah? And back up to center and down the front. Take a moment, roll the shoulders back. Sitting up nice and tall now, reach up the tops of the ears. Let's bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Just breathe, let the weight of your head do it. You don't need to pull or push. And then inhale the head back up and exhale, bringing the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. We move slowly in yoga so that we can pay attention to what our body's feeling, and we have the time to listen. What's your body telling you? And inhale up. Ah, nice. Now, your head is like a mobile turret. The way that the vertebrae in your cervical spine and your neck are designed is so that you can smoothly turn your head from side to side and also lift and lower the chin. Let's do that just a little bit. Look over one shoulder and smoothly back to center. Keep the chin parallel to the ground. As we lose some of our mobility, we look over our shoulders with our chin lifted. This is really not the best position for our cervical spine. So when you turn the head to look over your shoulder, please be mindful of keeping your chin parallel to the earth. And then front and center, draw a line with the chin up and down. We're not throwing our head back. We're just gently drawing a line. Come back to the center position, move the skull straight back a little bit more, and draw the line again. Straight line up and down with the chin. And back to the center position. Let's roll the shoulders back. Okay, so we're going to use the strap once again, and then we're going to get out from sitting. So no worries, we're not going to sit for the entire class. We have a little bit more movement to do. So now we're going to put some of the movements together that we did. Bringing the strap in front of the body, bringing the strap in back of the body, and bring the strap from side to side. So you just do the best that you can, but remember to sit up tall. Again, if you want to sit in a chair and do this because you feel you might have better mobility, do that, or you can even stand up and do this as well. So I'm going to take that strap at a nice wide, where it feels good to me when I get it overhead, nice and wide. And I'm going to hold it taut. I'm going to keep my wrists nice and straight, no weird bending at the wrist, keep them nice and straight. All right, so I'm going to start over to the right, and then I'm going to bring it in front, and then I'm going to take it over to the left and bring it behind. Ooh, so make it a circle. Side, front, side, and behind. You can bend the elbows as needed. Side, front, side, and behind. One more here. Side, front, side, and behind. Great job. Now we have to go in the other direction, right? So we're going to go side to the left, front, side to the right, and behind. Great job. And again, if you can't do the behind, don't worry about it if you can't take the strap behind you. We're just doing these circles, just seeing what kind of range of motion we can get with our shoulders, our shoulder joints. Just a circle, that's all. Side, behind, side, and in front, side, behind. Bend your elbows as needed, side and in front. Let's just do one more. You can do it. Feels good. If it doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. Awesome. And release. How do your shoulders feel as they're rolling back? Let's notice that. Open up. Give ourselves a big hug here. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Feels so nice. Stretching through the shoulders. Open up and exhale here. So nice. Feels so good, yeah? And release. Awesome job. So we're going to take this strap, we're going to move it aside. Notice if you feel more freedom in the shoulder joints. It's a wonderful feeling. And we're going to come to all fours on our mat. So if you were sitting on a pillow or a blanket or whatever you had, move that out of the way as we come to all fours. Okay. Knees line up underneath the hip joints, and your wrists aren't just under your shoulders, they're slightly forward. So the heel of your palm lines up with the top edge of your shoulders, a little bit forward. Spread the fingers a bit, press down through the pads of the fingers and the knuckles, turn the inner elbow creases to look at each other. You can put the tops of your feet down and notice how different that might feel for your knee joints, so you decide whether you want to keep your toes tucked under or whether you want to put the tops of your feet down, okay? Because it's completely up to you which way you decide to do it. Let's do our cat-cows here. Roll the shoulders back, lift the tailbone, let the belly hang. Oh, wow. A lot of mobility in the shoulders now after what we did. On the next inhalation, open up the shoulder blades, lift the front waist into the back spine, feel the tailbone drop gently between your thighs. Open up, and let's go back and forth. Inhaling and exhaling. Just enjoy this movement. Inhaling. Enjoy this movement and the fact that we're not sitting anymore. It's all good, right? All of our yoga practice is good. We learn so much about our body, how it feels, how it moves. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful job for your cat-cow stretches. So let's come back to the all fours position. So you'll feel that the belly muscles draw up when you come back to the all fours position to keep your spine neutral. We're going to lift the tailbone a bit and begin to sit our hips back towards our heels. You can widen your knees a little bit if that feels better for you, okay? And we're going to reach the arms out in front of us. So we've been working on our shoulder flexibility, so hopefully this feels pretty good to you. And it's okay if you can't get your back end all the way towards your heels. You don't have to. Just take it nice and easy. You might want to rock a little bit. Exhale and inhale, come a little forward. And exhale, sit the hips back. Take some time here. And then once you're sitting back as far as is comfortable for you, you can keep your palms on the floor or you can come up on your fingertips. Let's walk those hands over off the right corner, stretch through the left side, stretch through the left rib cage. Imagine you're stretching the left side of your waist like taffy. And then inhale your hands, roll your fingertips back to the center. And let's exhale off the left side. Now you're really breathing into the right side of your torso. Keep your head between your upper arms or slightly above. Stretch that right side of your waist. Neck should feel comfortable and long. And inhale, walk those hands back. Great job. Awesome, awesome job. Reaching, feeling so good in the shoulder joints. And then let's bring ourselves back to the all fours position. So I mentioned that we would also open our hips up. It's really great when we can get some more range of motion movement in the hips and the shoulder blades. So we're going to do a little bit of lunging. So for lunging, you may find that you need blocks to help you. Something to put underneath your hands. Some people will use Tupperware containers that are the same size. Some folks will use books. I think books are great, okay? So it's kind of up to you whether or not you will need them. So I put them off to the side of my mat. On an inhalation, I want you to lift your belly button up towards your spine, and then on the next exhalation, bring that right foot forward towards the right thumb. I know this may take a few steps. Make sure the front knee and ankle line up directly. 1, 2, line them up. And then, if you find it difficult to have your fingertips on the floor without hunching your back, you can use the blocks, okay? But first, let's try this. Roll the shoulders back, lift the torso up a little bit. Let your belly be strong, your belly and back strong. And then once you have your spine long, then place the fingertips back on the floor. And if it causes that hunch, use those blocks underneath your shoulders to put your fingertips on. Also notice how your hips feel. You might need to widen this right foot out a little bit wider, okay? It's completely up to you, so make it where you feel comfortable in the pose, and you can actually take a few breaths here. Shoulders draw back, waist lengthens. So nice, beautiful. Let's hug the inner thighs towards each other now, and walk our hands up our front right thigh. Good job. I know, maybe you're a little wobbly, so hug those inner thighs towards each other. You can tuck your back toes under if you like. And let's inhale those arms up. Now that we have big, free shoulders. And exhale, you can even bring them behind you when you exhale. You can lift the heart just a little bit. You can bring your hands together. You could hold your strap or just gently hold your thumb and draw the shoulder blades down the spine. And if you're feeling okay with this, keep leading with the heart and slightly lean the hips forward. We still don't want to bring this front knee past those front toes. Want to lift a little bit more through the heart, like a back bend. Inhale those fingertips up. Keep reaching your sternum up towards the sky. Beautiful. Inhale here and exhale, hinge. Place your hands back on the blocks. Great job. Beautiful job. We're going to take an inhale and exhale. Let's rock a little bit with these hips. And then when you're ready, inhale here, pull the belly in, exhale, step that front foot back. Or it may take you a few steps, and that's okay too. There's another leg, so now we have to do the other leg. From the all fours position, let's draw the belly button up in towards the spine. Inhale here, exhale, step your left foot forward to your left thumb. And again, the left knee and ankle need to line up directly. Place the blocks underneath your shoulders if you're using them, or your books, or whatever you have. Again, if you want to know if your spine is long, you can roll the shoulders back, lift up a little bit off your hands, really engage the belly in the back, and then rehinge, fingertips on the blocks or fingertips on the floor. You can widen this left foot out to a little bit closer to the left edge of the mat to give you more stability as well, or tuck the toes under. When you're ready, you're going to walk your hands up your front left thigh, move the front waist into the back waist, keep a nice tall spine. Inhale, arms up. Hug those inner thighs towards each other if you need some stability. Beautiful, great job. Inhale here, exhale to the cactus position. Again, lifting up through the sternum. Imagine you could lift your heart up and away from your hips, point it towards the sky. You don't have to throw your head back. When you roll the shoulders back and lift the sternum, Your head will move, and just hold that position. You don't have to move it. And if you like, you can slide your hips slightly forward. Keep hugging the inner thighs, opening up the heart. If you want to place the hands behind you again, you can. Sliding the shoulder blades down, keep the elbows bent. Lift and open that heart. Inhale up. And exhale, hinge back down. Excellent job, excellent, excellent job. So here we go. You're gonna draw that belly button in, inhale here, exhale, step that front foot back. To move our hips a little bit from side to side. I'm gonna move my blocks out of the way here. Just swivel the hips. Now let's make some circles with the hips. So I'm making circles. I'm going around, I'm going counterclockwise with my hips. My knees are about hips width apart. Now I'm gonna go clockwise with my hips. Beautiful, okay. So the rest of the class here, we're gonna do some hip opening on the floor, okay? And then final rest before we finish. So let's take a seat on the mat, swing our legs around, and lie down on our backs. Remember, take care coming down on your back, okay? A little bit here, a little bit at a time, onto the forearms, then come all the way down. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Great job. All right. So, how do you feel here on the floor? Feels okay? Let's hug ourselves once again across the chest. And then I just want you to rock a little bit from side to side with that torso so you can massage that area between your shoulder blades with the floor. Just breathe. Just a little bit. For you, this might be just an inch because it may not be comfortable. When we do some of our work lying on the floor on the mat, if you have a hard floor underneath you, you can definitely lay a blanket over the top of the mat to make it more comfortable when you're lying on the floor. And let's cross the other arm on top. Inhale and exhale. Try not to let your shoulders go right up into your ears. We want to definitely keep some space here from the tops of the shoulders and the ears. And just rock a little bit once again into that space between your shoulder blades. Breathe. And just release that. Okay, just a little bit of opening there. Let's bring the right knee in towards our chest and then the left knee. So nice and easy, hands behind the thighs. You can rock in a circle, bringing the knees in towards the chest and then away. We're making circles here. A lot of what we're doing today is circular, right? The shoulder joints and the hip joints, think about that. So they're ball and socket joints, so they move in a beautiful circular way. And that's natural for our bodies. A rocking motion, circular motion, and it feels soothing. So why not do something that feels soothing when you can, yeah? Awesome. So with the knees bent, let's lift the bottom of the feet up towards the ceiling. Okay, bottom of the feet towards the ceiling. And I'm going to ask you to take your right arm to the inside of your right leg and hold on to the inner shin a bit. Okay? And then the left arm to the inside of the left leg, hold on to the inner shin. And then as you bend your elbows, widen your knees, bending them so they come out to the sides a little bit more. So this is called happy baby pose because you know babies like to lay in their back and grab their toes and grab their feet. Sometimes it's called dead bug. I don't really like that one very much. Some people refer to it as the birthing pose. But the knees wide and apart, right? You can keep your hands here, you can keep your hands on the back of the thighs. This is a nice hip stretch. Looks very much like a squat, okay? Except the difference is that we're not using gravity to help us as much as we would be if we were on our feet in this position. Just a little bit. You can rock from side to side in this kind of a pose too. This is a big hip opener. And then let's bring those knees together. Let's bring just the left foot to the floor now and extend the right foot up towards the ceiling. Maybe put your hands behind your thigh. It's okay if your knee doesn't unbend. Let's circle the ankle in one direction and the other. And then gently press as if you're pushing the front of your right thigh against your hands. Maybe the knee will straighten a little bit, maybe it won't. And you can go back and forth, bend and extend. So you bend the knee and then you squeeze the top front of that thigh muscle to extend the leg. Whatever works for you. Maybe you want to hold it here for a few breaths. You can take that strap that we were using earlier and you can put that across the bottom of the ball of your foot and hold that as well. So you have a lot of options here. Just breathe. And then let's switch legs. Right foot down, we're going to bring the left foot in, up goes that knee. Place the hands behind the thigh, circle the ankle one direction, and then the other. And then when you're ready, just press the front of the left thigh against your hands, straightens the knee a little bit. And again, if it feels good to you, you can bend and straighten. You can inhale as you bend and exhale as you straighten. Inhale and exhale. See, the shoulder joints and the hip joints, they don't work alone, right? The shoulder joints, you have the muscles of the chest and the upper back and the muscles of the arms. And for the hip joints, you have all these strong muscles. The gluteus, all the flexors and extensors, your thigh muscles. You can hold the stretch for a few breaths. So we're just getting our hips open a bit here. And then you can release, nice and easy. Place the right foot and ankle over the top of the left thigh now, widening the right knee out to the side. Press firmly against that thigh, spread your toes a little bit, and rock from side to side. Just a little bit here, side to side. We're gently doing this hip opener. If you want to make it a little bit more firm, you can take the left foot off the floor and place the hands behind the left thigh. So this is going to make this stretch a little bit more intense. Please keep your toes spreading so we can keep our ankles and knees in alignment. So it's up to you whether you want to take this left foot off the floor or keep it on the floor. You choose what works for you today, okay? Take a few more breaths in whichever option that you have chosen. And then we'll switch legs. Keep the toes spreading a little bit. You're pressing this left foot and ankle against the top of the right thigh to widen the left knee to the left. And again, you can do a little bit of rocking from side to side across the back of the hips in this position. Just strongly flex the foot and keep pressing it against the thigh. Or if you want to increase the feeling and the intensity of the stretch, you can take the right foot off the floor, hands behind the thigh. Or if you can't hold your thigh, sometimes it's hard for me, you can take your strap and put it around the back of your thigh too. So you have the option, whatever you are using, okay? So take whichever variation you feel comfortable with. Stretching doesn't have to be, stretching should never be painful, okay, or highly, highly uncomfortable. Just notice the different sensations when you're stretching, as long as you're feeling something. And if you don't feel anything in the position, then you need to modify a little bit until you do feel some sensation. And then we're going to release this. You can place the soles of your feet together here, widen your knees out to the side for Supta Baddha Konasana. This is called bound angle. So some folks really don't like this. The knees are hanging, away from the floor and it feels kind of scary. Just take a minute here. If you still have your blocks nearby, you can slide them underneath the outside of your knees. So the blocks would be between the floor and your knees. Just take a few breaths. We're at the end here. Soften through the back. And then gently on the next exhalation, you can bring the knees together. If you want to bring them into your chest one more time and rock a little bit, you can do that. And now it's time for your Shavasana, okay? So let's place the feet on the floor. If you have a rolled up blanket or a pillow that you can place underneath your knees if you want to lengthen your legs out, then definitely do that. Put a little something between the space between the back of your knees and the floor, okay? Might make you more comfortable. If the knees are slightly higher than the hips, it's sometimes more comfortable for the lower back. You don't have to do that. You can if you want. Wiggle the legs out, let them relax. Let the arms relax. You may want to widen your shoulder blades away from each other. Wiggle a little bit to get comfortable. Put your arms wherever it feels okay to you. You don't want it real tight in, but you don't want them way out. So find just the right spot. Palms up. You can place a little pillow underneath your head, but please be mindful when you move into Shavasana, you don't want your chin higher than your forehead, okay? So your forehead might be a little higher than your chin, but you don't want your chin higher than your forehead. So find that space and close your eyes. And you can go back to that breathing in 3 pieces. Inhaling, low belly, upper belly, chest. Exhaling, chest, upper belly, lower belly. Please stay here. Put a blanket over you, make yourself nice and warm, put your socks on before you do your Savasana. Be warm, be comfortable, and take at least 10 minutes if you can to practice your breathing, and then softly breathe at your own pace. Give yourself this time to rest and recover. Thank you for joining me today for yoga practice. May we all find peace, no matter what we are given. Namaste, my friends.